Peanut butter's great, but what if I told you there's so much more nut butters to explore? Now, a little side note here, I don't use Jif. I don't know how this even got in my pantry, so we're getting that out of there right now. We only use peanut butter with dry roasted peanuts. None of the extra stuff. Back to what I was saying though. The nut butter we're gonna be talking about in this video is none other than walnut butter. Now, I believe one of the reasons walnut butter is not as popular is you really can't find this in stores. You have to get it online, and it is a little more expensive, but it is very good for you. It's one of the few foods that contain omega-3 ALAs, which your body really can't produce on its own. So great for heart health. The first thing we're gonna be doing is looking over the nutrition facts of the walnut butter. Now, the nutrition facts do vary a little bit based on the brand you get, but for the purpose of this video, I'll be going over the nutrition facts of the brand that I like to buy in bulk, the VOR Walnut Butter. So let's take a look at these. Now, as you can see here, this walnut butter is 210 calories for 2 tablespoons, 5 grams of protein, and 6 carbs if you track that. What's also integral to make sure your walnut butter only has one ingredient, as we see here, is only dry roasted walnuts. So we know this is gonna be very pure, nothing added, no added oils, anything like that. The oil separation is natural and is good to see. Next, we're gonna go over one of the more important aspects as well, is the flavor itself of the nut butter. So let's actually see what walnuts.org says about the flavor. They say, rich flavor with a subtle twist. One of the most appealing aspects of walnut butter is its flavor profile. Walnut butter has an earthy, slightly bitter flavor with deep nutty undertones. This makes it a great option for formulas where you want a more complex taste. It is often described as being less sweet, but more savory and full-bodied, giving it a versatility that can be used in both sweet and savory dishes. Next up, we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of the health facts and why walnut butter is so good for you. One of the things that makes walnut butter so unique is it contains the most omega-3 of any nut butter. We're talking peanut butter, cashew butter, pistachio butter, almond butter. You name it! Now, the specific type of omega-3 found in walnut butter is omega-3 ALA. This is commonly found in plants, and another thing that has a lot of omega-3 ALA is flaxseed. Now, the special thing about ALA is it's converted into EPA and DHA. Now, omega-3 EPA and DHA are most commonly found in fish, and the conversion process isn't very efficient. That doesn't mean you still shouldn't get it. It's one of the few foods that even have ALA to begin with. Now, according to health.harvard.edu, the main problem with ALA is that to have the good effects attributed to omega-3s, it must be converted by a limited supply of enzymes into EPA and DHA. Only a small fraction of it has omega-3 effects, 10 to 15%, maybe less. The remaining 85 to 90% gets burned up as energy or metabolized in other ways. So, having this ALA that you get from the walnut butter is very important, but I also do highly recommend getting some fish in your diet so you can get the EPA and DHA directly. Now, the fish I recommend is coho salmon from Walmart. It has a lot more mild flavor. Now, if you really like a good fishy flavor, you can get whatever fish you want, but coho salmon from Walmart is one of the fish like I definitely would highly recommend. It's very good, very mild, and you find some good seasoning for it, it will taste pretty good. All that to say, we want to take a two-pronged or like a more holistic approach, getting the ALAs from the walnut butter and the EPA and DHA from the fish. This way you're maximizing your health benefits. But let's talk about what are these health benefits anyway. So first, we're gonna look at this research study specifically on walnuts, and then we're gonna look at a research study that is more omega-3 as a whole. So let's look into this one. According to this study, overall, high walnut enriched diets significantly decrease total and LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, for the duration of short-term trials. Larger and longer-term trials are needed to address the effects of walnut consumption on cardiovascular risk and body weight. Now, obviously that was a short-term trial, but anytime I see the word significantly reduced, I mean, what do you really have to lose? If you're significantly, even if the possibility of significantly reducing your LDL cholesterol, that could prevent maybe a future heart attack or something down the line, easy worth it in my opinion. Now we look into what myclevelandclinic.org says about what omega-3 can do for you. So let's take a look. Omega-3 fatty acids have many potential benefits for your cardiovascular health. One key benefit is that they help lower your triglyceride levels. Too many triglycerides in your blood raises the risk of osteosclerosis, and through this can increase your risk of heart disease and stroke. So it's important to keep triglyceride levels under control. In addition, omega-3s may help you raising your HDL, good cholesterol, and lowering your blood pressure. So very good stuff there. Now, as you can see, just the health benefits themselves make this so worth adding to your diet. And you can add it to your diet in many different ways. Obviously, I like to add it to my diet just via putting in a shake with a little cinnamon protein powder. I'll show you guys that. And also, me personally, one of my favorite things to do with it is put it on waffles with a little bit of syrup. I think it tastes delicious when you do it like that. But I recommend, try out anything. One of my favorite brands, and I'll put the link for this in the description, Nutchio. You go on their website and they give you a bunch of options here. They say, spread it on a slice of bread, add it to your favorite recipe or dessert. Or like I said earlier, enjoy it by the spoonful. I think they do a really good job. They also have a cinnamon flavor, which I haven't got around to trying, but based on how I make my own shakes myself, I bet the cinnamon flavor is gonna be pretty delicious. It also, it smells so good. Like, you're gonna open this and you're gonna want this in a candle. I'm not even joking, it smells really good. If you wanna put nut butter in a shake, I recommend the VOR brand I mentioned earlier in this video. They have it in, honestly, I think the lowest pricing I could find. You can buy it in really bulk containers, saves you a lot of money. I'd say the taste isn't as potent as the Nutchio brand, but this is good if you're just gonna put it in a shake, kind of dilute it with protein powder and other stuff in there anyways. I highly recommend the VOR brand for that. So I'll put a link in the description below for that as well. If you wanna see the way I like my walnut butter protein shakes, I'm gonna play a clip that I just filmed. It's like, I kind of almost made it in a speed run type format, just with all the ingredients and like what I like to put in there and what I like to add to make it even more healthy. So you can skip it if you want, skip to the end of this video. But if you wanna know how I particularly make my shakes, take a look. Now I'm gonna show you how to make this walnut butter protein shake delicious. So stay with me now. Number one, you're gonna need whey protein, but the cinnamon flavor from Ghost. Now you can also use the protein flavor that Optimum Nutrition has. I think it's called cinnamon roll. That's also very delicious, but they each have a distinct flavor, and I really like the cinnamon flavor on this one. Next up, of course, you're going to need the walnut butter. Now I like to put the walnut butter in the fridge so it gets a little more solid, a little easier to put in there, but you need that good walnut butter. I'll put a link in the description for the best one to get in bulk. Next up, you're obviously gonna need the milk, and since we're trying to go heavy on the calories, at least my goals, I'm going with the whole milk. Now you can get 2%, 1%, whatever milk you desire, depending on your goals. Next up, these are like additions I like to add. If you want a little bit extra sweetness, I highly recommend this honey right here. Delicious, a little bit of honey, not too much, you don't want too much sugar in there, but it really adds like a good extra flavor to it. Then a little extra stuff here too. You're gonna want the flax seed. I like to put this in here, get a little more extra omega-3s in there. And then for a little extra health, I recommend these pumpkin seed protein powder. They don't have too much of a taste to them, but these are great to put in your shake, and it makes it actually a little bit more healthy, and I recommend definitely get cold press. I like this brand from Anthony. I'll also put a link in the description for that below. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I hope it was informative, and I hope it encourages you to at least give the walnut butter a try. I have all the things I mentioned in the video in the description below. You can check that out, but take it easy, guys, and thanks for watching.